There is a divine power and presence that is letting itself be known here by means of all creation. This magnificent power is revealing itself through the life and activity of each of us present here today. I affirm for each of us that we are blessed in this experience of diving deeper into the knowledge and wisdom that is at the core of each of our hearts. This is a blessed time with blessed people, and may this experience be joyful and harmonious. May the light of intuition express itself through each of us. In gratitude for the opportunity to connect with this community more deeply, and for the love and light that we all share, easefully and gracefully, I affirm this time open. And so it is. Amen. The reading that I'm giving you today is by Dr. Amen, as I said before, and he is one of the neurologists that traveled with Dr. Joe Dispenza and ran brave brainwave tests on many of the people who'd experienced instant healing. Your brain is involved in everything you do, including how you think, how you feel, and how you act, and how well you get along with other people. It's the organ of personality, character, intelligence, and every decision you make. From my brain imaging work with tens of thousands of patients worldwide over the past 20 years, it's very clear to me that when your brain works right, you work right. And when your brain is troubled, you are much more likely to have trouble in your life. With a healthier brain, you are happier, physically healthier, wealthier, wiser, and just make better decisions. And this helps you be more successful and live longer. And occasionally, when the brain is not healthy, for whatever reason, such as a head injury or a past emotional trauma, people are sadder, sicker, poor, less wise, and less successful. It's easy to understand how trauma can hurt the brain, but researchers have also seen how negative thinking and bad programming from our past can also affect it. Even though I think of the brain like a computer with both hardware and software, the hardware, or the actual physical functioning of the brain, is not separate from the software or the constant programming and reshaping that occurs throughout our lives. Most of us have had trauma of some kind in our lives and live with the day-to-day scars that have resulted. Cleaning out those experiences that have become part of the brain structure can be incredibly healing. One of the most exciting lessons I have learned is that people can literally change their brains and change their lives by engaging in regular brain-healthy habits, such as correcting negative beliefs and using meditative processes. And Dr. Amen goes on to say, in one series of studies we published, the practice of meditation boosted blood flow to the prefrontal cortex, the most thoughtful part of the brain. And then he says, my hope is that, like me, you will develop brain envy and want a better functioning brain. The brain imaging work we do has changed everything in my own life. Shortly after I started, after ordering SPECT brain scans in 1991, I decided to look at my own brain. I was 37 years old, and when I saw the toxic, bumpy appearance, I knew it was not healthy. I had many bad brain habits. I didn't exercise. I ate lots of food, drank diet soda, and often slept only 4 to 5 hours at night, and carried unexamined hurts from the past. What I didn't know was hurting me, and not just a little. My last scan looks healthier and much younger than it did 20 years ago. My brain has literally aged backward. That's how changeable your brain is. And when you make up your mind to take care of it properly, all is well. I appreciate these words of Dr. Amen, and it gives me so much hope, doesn't it give you? That we can go backward with our brains and still find that love and light that we need. Namaste.
Namaste. I'm going to ask Karen to stay up here for a minute. Because what she didn't quite finish telling you is this is her last Sunday here. She will be moving the first. I'm going to cry. she said, I can't tell these people because I'll start crying. Well, now I'm crying. But she has fulfilled a demonstration of hers that she has held in her heart for a long time. She will be moving to Port Townsend in the first part of August. And so we do wish her well. There is a card on the back table. On the back counter, I would ask for you to sign it. And we just know that we wish her well in all that she is about to embark on. And this is for you, sweetheart.
Oh, thank you.
Oh, beautiful. We love you. We just wish you.
Washington State.
Wow.
Far right, north part of the state is miraculous.
It's a wonderful place. And I have something to pass on to Reverend Donna.
Oh, really?
It's my pink light. Because I know you've been putting a scarf over your light to do all the things that she's done online and how hard she's worked this past year.
Oh, that is so sweet. Pink lights make your complexion look better. So I've been using pink napkins over everything when I Zoom.
And she just glows.
Thank you, my darling. And then maybe somebody can take the candle back for, as Karen holds the high watch for each, and that's okay. My son will take it back for you. Yeah, yeah. No, over here on this side.
Here, I'll take it back because I'm supposed to hold a meditation.
Well, yeah, but can you get both?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, and I forgot to light it.
That's okay. You can light when you get there.
Everything changes.
Yes, it does. It does. Well, this will be fun to try. Thank you. Thank you. Okay.
The song is written by Pete Seeger, and he based it on the book of Ecclesiastes. And, you know, you're probably really familiar with this song. So if you feel like singing the chorus, don't be shy about that, okay? To everything turn, turn, turn. There is a season, turn, 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 and daytime to every purpose under heaven. A time to be born, a time to die, a time to plant, a time to reap, a time to kill, a time to heal, a time to laugh, a time to weep. To everything turn, turn, turn. There is a season, turn, 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 and a time to every purpose on under heaven. A time to build up, a time to break down, a time to dance, a time to mourn, a time to cast away stones, a time to gather stones together. To everything turn, turn, turn. There is a season, turn, 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 and a time to every purpose under heaven. A time to gain, a time to lose, a time to rend, a time to sow, a time for love, a time for hate, a time for peace. I swear it's not too late. Join me. To everything turn, turn, turn. There is a season, turn, 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 and a time to every purpose under heaven.
Thank you, Vicki. That's just a pretty song. Love it, love it, love it. Good morning. Don't forget to sign the card for Karen and give her a hug before you leave today, because she has really used this creative process to manifest her dream. And I know we're going to miss her a lot. We're continuing our theme, Butterfly Moments, and I've said over the past weeks, the butterfly, with its metamorphosis from land-bound caterpillar to colorful flying creature, has always been a symbol of human personal transformation. So butterfly moments are those times where we are dramatically changed by an experience in our life, whether it's great or small. And John and I are going through a process right now as our cat, John's cat, Misty, is giving us signs that she may be nearing the end of her time on this planet. And Missy's always had an incredibly special relationship with John. I'm just sort of chopped liver, which is fine, But I love that when she could jump, she would jump up on the bed and cuddle with him for a midday nap. And now that she can no longer jump, she sits by his chair in our office, waiting for him to pick her up and pet her. So even though I've had cats my whole life, I had my Winky for 22 years, and she holds a special place in my heart that absolutely no other cat has been able to fill. And I'm really happy that John has found that relationship with Misty, because I think something happens to us when we bond with a pet. And while the relationship deepens with time, there is a transformation that takes place when we have been loved by and love someone furry, So perhaps there's something more than just butterfly moments. Perhaps there are butterfly experiences expand over time that allows love to grow us and transform us in that process. So whether our transformation happens instantly or takes place over time, there's various tools that we're always using that moves us from ideas to demonstrations. Just as what happened with Karen. When John and I were guided to leave Florida, we had a lot of ideas of where we would go, but we did know it would be the Southwest. And that idea, once the intention was set, that idea put in motion a whole bunch of things, like Reverend Peggy Bailey putting an ad on the minister's listserv that there was a little church out here in Amado that needed a minister. So I'm sitting at my friend Reverend Richard Windsor was sitting at my desk visiting, and he called out. He said, "Donna, I found your church." So once we set an intention, it is amazing how everything conspires for that to come to place, and that is what has just happened with Karen, and we're so pleased for her. So my topic this morning, as Karen said, is intention, attention, and action. I think I put it backwards in the program. But it does work the other way around, too. It's got a little different take, but I tried it both ways, and it works. Because we all know that our thought is creative. I mean, that's the basic of our coursework, and our coursework is based on that idea of reprogramming our thoughts so that when we are aware that our thinking is not in alignment with those attributes of spirit, love, truth, beauty, joy, harmony, peace, I say it every single week, then we can gently and deliberately bring ourselves back to the truth of who we are. And it's a lifelong process, because just about the time we think we have it, something sets us on our heels, and we need to return back to that idea that we are God-informed, we are using the intelligence of God, and through our thoughts we bring new forms and experiences into our world of affairs. And once again, then we have to gently and deliberately set a new intention to turn our attention back to those things we wish to experience in our lives. So we can look at this creative process kind of as intention is the seed, attention is how we nourish that seed, and action is the harvesting of that seed. According to Deepak Chopra, intention is the starting point of every dream. It's the creative power that fulfills all of our needs, whether for money, relationships, spiritual awakening, or love. Everything that happens in the universe begins with intention. I want to stop right here, and I know everybody's good doing this. One of the things that the monsoons bring in Amado is lots of rain and flies. So sorry about that, guys, but we'll just have to grin and bear it. See everybody going like this. Anyway, so everything that happens in the universe begins with intention. We can set big intentions that span time, like Karen did in her move to Port Townsend, or John and I coming to the Southwest, or fulfilling a lifelong professional goal or relationship. And we can set the smallest ones, like beginning our day with, today I see beauty all around me, or today I reflect the goodness in everything that I do. Just simple things like that. Because these intentions, whether big or small, these are the seeds that we're sowing. Wayne Dyer says, our intention creates our reality. So part of any intention includes the feeling that not only is it possible, but it's actually happening. So setting an intention is much more than saying some glowing words. And I use this example all the time, but it's so obvious. Suppose Aunt Lucy called you and said that she was putting a check in the mail for $1,000. Well, you know Aunt Lucy to be true to her word, and so you're extremely happy. Why are you happy when you don't have the money? Because you believe in Aunt Lucy, and you believe that it's all in process because of the word that she spoke to you. So you and I need to believe in the intentions we set as much as we believe in Aunt Lucy. That it's just that simple. The feeling that we have about Aunt Lucy's check is the exact feeling we need to have when we set an intention. So if we say the words and we're not there with the feeling, we just kind of keep going with it until that feeling begins to take shape, because it will if we keep just imagining it and knowing that we are setting something at work in the universe. And if we don't, if we don't have that feeling, it generally means, as Karen said today, it generally means that there's something within us that doesn't really believe it. I've probably told you this story, but when I was at Founders Church, we had a woman who came in and she came to our Wednesday night services, which were more like a teaching time than a sermon. And so she got the ideas of how to pray, how to do a spiritual mind treatment. She was living out of her car, and she came to us very frustrated because she had practiced the tools that we were giving her for 2 weeks, and she hadn't manifested her intention of $1 million. So she said, as she huffed off, that our teaching doesn't work. But we know the reason that she could not manifest $1 million. It's not because the universe is incapable of manifesting $1 million, but because she couldn't experience something she could not embody in her consciousness. She couldn't trust Aunt Lucy. So whenever our intention is met with resistance, resistance wins because it's more powerful than the intention. It has more power to it. And you can say a lot of beautiful, good, and wonderful words, and then hit your finger with a hammer. How much energy do you have to the response to that? It's more powerful. And we are actually setting an intention. The intention says, this can't happen to me. So if we're setting an intention for a perfect relationship, we might watch for the fears and doubts that surround that. The last one turned out horrible. What if I get hurt again? I can't do this. And those fears and doubts muddy the water so that the intention cannot manifest. We're putting weeds around the seed thought of that intention. And in time, we are hurt again because we're manifesting at the level of our own belief, which is saying, I want a relationship and I'll get hurt. Universe can only say yes. So we have to be very careful what we're giving it to say yes to, because fears and doubts will sabotage our intentions. And bringing them to the surface is a way of neutralizing them, identifying them. Dr. Phil always says we can't change what we don't acknowledge. So as we acknowledge our doubts, we can pursue ways to eliminate them. Perhaps we need to acknowledge that manifesting $1 million is beyond our capacity right now. So we start smaller and work up. We don't give up the idea, but we simply start with what we can consciously embody. There's a story in Mary Manon Morrissey's book that she talks about a practitioner coming to her. Both of her kidneys were failing, and she was not expected to live. A practitioner came to her and began to talk to her, and the practitioner said, can you see yourself totally healed, both kidneys totally healed? And she said, no. And then the practitioner said, can you see one kidney healed? And she thought about it a little while, and she says, yes. And the practitioner says, set that intention. And when she went into surgery, she lost a kidney, and she saved a kidney, and she healed from that situation. That's kind of the way it works. She was not able to embody a total healing, but what she could embody, that's what manifested in her life. And that's the way this stuff works. For a beautiful relationship, we need to see that we are deserving of love because we are love. We are the love of God in form. And we might need to look at these hurts in new light, see if we can transform some of our ideas, because feeling like a victim is a huge form of self-sabotage. So if we can see what gifts we've been given from that past relationship, then we can move from being hurt, from being a victim, into seeing those relationships that have informed our life for the better. Even if it's something like, okay, I can recognize that, and I know when to sidestep it. I don't have to get into this again. But when we do that, when we can begin to see that these things have transformed our life for the better, and we get out of that victim mode, then we become empowered in that process, and so that we can manifest that relationship that comes naturally from our own embodiment of peace and love. Okay, we said that intention is sowing the seed and attention is nourishing it. When we look closely at our resistance and begin to heal old ideas, what we're doing is basically we are placing our attention on removing the weeds from our garden so that that seed may grow unobstructed. And in this way, intention and attention work together for the highest and best good. They're very intertwined. That's why you can start with either one of them and you can actually have a whole different talk if you start with attention first. But attention with intention is a powerful combination. Deepak Chopra says the quality of attention on the object of intention will orchestrate an infinity of space-time events to bring about the outcome intended. And that's what's so beautiful, because you have no idea how this is going to come about if you are clear in your intention and you believe in it. And then you just watch for those silly coincidences we'll talk about in a minute. But when we set an intention, we are looking toward the future. Intention is something that is going to come about. Attention, however, is present moment thinking. So when our present attention is focused on ways that help nourish our intention, then our process of positive results increase. So in the manifesting intentions, then, we got to be careful to remember what is and what is not our responsibility. Because our responsibility is to set our intention as clearly as possible, get to a point where we believe in it, let our attention nourish that soil in which it is growing. That's our job. Our job is not to try to figure out how that's going to happen. And I think that is the hardest thing for human beings, because we are such control freaks. Our monkey mind tells us that we have to stay in charge in order to get anything done, or for it to have done right. We have to be the ones in charge. So part of our responsibility is to trust that from our intention and our attention, the outcome, the result will be, it has to be, in our best interest. We've done our work, identifying our intentions, planting them in fertile ground, and what is left is to trust the process, releasing our need to control. And part of the way to build our trust in this process is to watch for the synchronicities. I think it is so much fun to do that. We were talking on Coffee with a Rev, I think Beth brought it up, that in Pam Grout's book, E Squared, she gives a 48-hour assignment. And the first 24 hours, you're just supposed to set an intention to see beige cars. Or green cars, I think she said. She said green or beige, whatever you want. Set a color, to see a color car. And watch what happens in 24 hours. And generally, you will see more beige cars than you have seen forever. All of a sudden, beige cars are in your awareness. And then for the next 24 hours, she says to focus on something less ordinary, like purple flowers or yellow butterflies. And in one of the cases, she said she had a friend living in some place up north in January, and she was focusing on yellow butterflies. Well, she found one on a calendar. She found one on napkins. There were yellow butterflies that came into her experience because she had set that intention to see it. Now what those do, those gives us confidence that the universe is listening. It gives us confidence that we do draw to ourselves the experiences we wish to have. And we draw to ourselves the experiences we wish we didn't have, too. So our job is to figure out what it is we want, set an intention, believe in that intention, and then keep our attention focused on clearing out the weeds and let the universe handle the details in how that's going to come about. So intention, first step, attention, second step, action is the third step. Action is the third step because it's going to come about. Mary Morrissey in her Dream Builder program says, inspiration without action is merely entertainment. The first two steps are important, but thoughts that stay inside and are not acted upon don't have much to offer other than amusement. So we need to couple our intention setting with our spiritual practices and be guided by our intuition. Yeah, I love this statement that the divine intelligence knows what to do, how to do it, when to do it, and is doing it right now. That's true every moment. So when we say that to ourselves, then we can step into that, so that we can be part of the action process. It knows what to do, when to do it, how to do it. It's acting in my behalf right now, and I step in behind this with my action. How simple. It's hard, though. A lot of times it's hard to take the action if the action is something that's traumatic for us. Stepping out of a relationship, stepping into a new home, all these different things that we go through. But by seeing this statement as true and by saying it, what we do is it lessens the fear of the actions that we are taking, because we know that we're guided by that divine intuition, and we know it is for our highest and best good. Dr. Ernest Holmes tells us the greatest good which our mind is able to conceive should be affirmed as part of our everyday experience. From such daily meditation, we should venture forth into a life of action with the will to do, the determination to be, and a joy in becoming. I like that. I like that. There's a story while contending with the manifold problems of geography and climate in the building of the Panama Canal. Colonel George Washington Goethals had to endure the sharp criticism of countless busybodies back home who freely predicted that he would never complete the task. But the resolute builder pressed steadily forward in his work and said nothing. A subordinate asked him, "Aren't you going to answer your critics?" And Goethals replied, in time. "Well, how?" And the great engineer smiled. "With the canal," he said. So he had a dream. He had an intention, and he did not allow his attention or his actions to be diverted by naysayers. And the Panama Canal was completed in 1914, 2 years ahead of schedule, the target date being June 1, 1916. So that's the power of intention, attention, intuition, coupled by action. We can do powerful things in our lives, powerful things. So we may not build a Panama Canal, but we're going to manifest those things that bring joy to ourselves and bring joy to others. And our lives are going to be filled with those and transformed by those butterfly moments, butterfly experiences that fill our space and time. Deepak Chopra ends his book, The 7 Laws of Spiritual Success, with these words, which culminates my talk. "We are travelers on a cosmic journey, stardust swirling and dancing in the eddies and whirlpools of infinity. Life is eternal, but the expressions of life are ephemeral, momentary, transient. We have stopped for a moment to encounter each other, to meet, to love, to share. This is a precious moment, but it is transient. It is a little paragraph in eternity. If we share with caring, lightheartedness, and love, we will create abundance and joy for ourselves and for each other. And this moment will have been worthwhile." Thank you. Namaste.
In your bulletin, we have the words for the song from Daniel Nahmad, "Love is My Decision," and it goes so well with Donna's talk because we're deciding to love. Some people aren't real lovable, but we have to decide to love them anyway.
Yeah, we can interchange decision with intention, actually. Love is my intention.
Yes, love is my decision or my intention,
Yeah.
and I'm going to choose to do this so that You know, maybe somebody I met, that poor gal at the service station that the guy was mean to because the pump didn't run properly, would take his credit card. You know, maybe we can choose to love her a little more and give her a good day, you know, and give her a little, you're doing a fine job. So if you'd like to stand, great. And if not, as ever, sit in your seat and sing out loud. Love is my decision. It's up to me to give of my heart. Love is my decision. No one else can tell me to start. And when I decide to change my mind, God will show me how. Love is my decision right here and now. Love is my decision. It's up to me to stand on that bridge. Love is my decision. No one else can make me forgive. And when I decide to change my mind, God will show me how. Love is my decision right here and now. My favorite verse coming up. Love is my decision. It's up to me to dance on the road. Love is my decision. No one else can lighten my load. And once I decide to change my mind, God will show me how. Love is my decision right here and now. My decision right here and now.
Perfect. Thank you, Vicki. Thank you so much. We're just very lucky to have Vicki to be able to fill in for Heather. I mean, it's just...
It's always an honor. It's an honor to be here, and I love Heather, and it's so fun to even just come when she's here and do a couple little ditties with her, you know.
Isn't it? Yeah. I talked to her this past week, and she's doing fine. She's got all kinds of irons in the fire. So I think it's pretty amazing. Okay, so it is time now for our offering, and for those, I don't think we have film today, but I think we may have sound. So for those of you who are listening to us on YouTube, please not only join us in our offering affirmation, but there is a place at the bottom of our website, of our YouTube site, where you can donate, and we certainly encourage you to do so and be part of our spiritual family and help with the good that we're doing in this community. So let's all join in the offering affirmation. My gift goes forth to heal, prosper, and bless all that it touches. It is evidence of my conviction that God is the source and substance of my supply. I share generously of my good, knowing that it returns to me multiplied abundantly, and so it is.
I am so blessed, I am so blessed, I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed, I am so blessed, I am so grateful, I am so blessed, I am so blessed, I am so blessed, I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed, I am so blessed, I am so grateful, I am so blessed, I am so blessed, I am so blessed, I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed, I am so blessed, I am so grateful, I am so blessed.
Thank you all for your generosity and your givingness to this center and to this community. There's an article in the paper, by the way, next Saturday at 1:30 at Desert Sky. There's going to be a film and there's going to be some presentations. It's about, it's called something about 4 days. And it's with Glenn Close, and it's sponsored in part by the Amado Community Alliance, and it's about the devastation of opioids. And we have several grants that the kids are involved in that help awareness of opioid overdoses and helping the kids to understand not to use these things. So if you have a chance, if you've got the paper, I think it's 1:30 next Saturday at the regular Desert Sky Cinema. So, and I believe that the whole thing's free. I'm not sure. So join us. I think it might be kind of a fun thing to do. Okay, so let's close this out in prayer. And again, if you haven't signed the card for Karen, please do so. Give her a hug. Know that she carries all of our hugs with her on her new journey. I know that she is blessed. So we just take a moment right now to know that God is all there is. This divine intelligence is whole, perfect, and complete. And we know that the attributes of this divine power and presence are the attributes that are inherent within each and every one of us, because we are this divine power and presence in form. So knowing that, we know that we can set our intentions because we are planting that seed into that which knows what to do, when to do it, and how to do it, and is doing it right now in our behalf and in behalf of those that we pray for. I speak my word for anyone who's experiencing any kind of a challenge, physical, mental, financial, whatever it might be, that power and presence does know what to do and is at work in that process, bringing new light, new hope, new healing. I give thanks to be a part of this beautiful spiritual community. And I know that we are deeply blessed to have each other and to share in this beautiful knowledge that we have on the law of mind and how it works. So I just say thank you, God. Thank you, everybody. And we say together, and so it is.